Well, good morning. I thought it was time we did an update on the latest status of coronavirus from a BFM perspective. As I said really at the very beginning of the crisis, we felt this was a critical time for BFM. It was time for us really to step up and make sure we were doing everything we possibly could for industry and our members during this extremely difficult time. I didn't really anticipate just sort of how much change would go on during the period, but so we've been really busy. Hopefully you've all been keeping up to date through the coronavirus hub that we've created on our website. We've also been putting out bulletins more frequently than ever before, I think. So we've been doing 4 or 5 a week on a routine basis, sometimes more than that. And I think it's probably fair to say that the team have been working pretty tirelessly right through this, just to sort of keep everyone up to date and help where we can with industry and support in this very difficult time. We have had direct line into government throughout the time that the crisis has been going on. We're doing that through the British Furniture Confederation. And BFC, we've now moved into meeting weekly with BFC, so we're putting together sort of all of our campaigns for government through that process. And we've been talking variously through the time, either directly to Treasury, to the Business Secretary, Alex Sharma, and now we've actually got a weekly call booked into Minister Paul Scully, who's representing the Consumer Goods panel. So we do have that line of communication, and if you do have anything, please send that in to us. So we're always welcoming any information, any suggestions, any ideas that you might have. I think very significantly, we also managed to get agreement from the all-party parliamentary group that we would launch a formal furniture industry inquiry. That furniture industry inquiry was actually a 2-hour session with some 26 participants giving evidence to the ministers to really flag up the industry-specific issues that our companies were facing. And the feedback from that inquiry has been fed directly into government and has influenced some of the changes that have happened so far. And there are also ongoing issues that we're continuing to press government for. I think probably most significantly really was the announcement of the changes to the job retention scheme. From day one, that has been the key area that we've been pushing for in terms of support for our industry. And I think Treasury have come up with the goods really on that, and it has been a lifeline for most of our companies. And the announced extension of the job retention scheme was not only very welcome, but probably beyond our expectations in terms of time frame. So running on to end of October was a very positive message. I think for us to use the job retention scheme most effectively, it does need more flexibility in there. And I know this came out through the inquiry that the fixed 3-week period is probably the most significant concern really around the job retention scheme. So we're continuing to press government on that. Flexibility will be key for the effectiveness of that scheme going forwards. And we're expecting some announcement on that very soon. So we will keep you posted as and when we find out more. We're also continuing to press government around rates relief for our sector, and that's been an ongoing issue, clearly with businesses being either closed down or scaled down. The rates is a significant overhead burden that is causing our members problems. And the other thing that we're now pressing for through our contact through government is to get government support for a Buy British campaign. Many of you have fed that into me as we come out of this crisis more than ever. We're going to need consumer confidence and consumer demand, and the importance of the consumer, driving consumers to buy British has never been more important really. That the number of jobs that are at stake is crucial for our industry, and also I think confidence in buying quality product from British manufacturers is a good message at a time when consumers are nervous. So as we slowly get back into work, and I know most members are now at that process of slowly setting up and getting running, I think firstly I should say that we were pleased that government involved us in the consultation on the return to work guidelines. That was a pretty comprehensive project. Ernst Young were commissioned to coordinate that, and we fed into that. It was a pretty major project. There were some 190 different organisations, 300 employers from across all sectors fed into it. So I would thank you for those of you that contributed information to me, and we fed into that consultation. I would add that the consultation obviously led to the issuing of the guidelines, but BIS have made it very clear to us that any changes or proposed changes that industry would like, then they are still welcoming further feedback on that. I think it's fair to say that all of the feedback I've had so far has been pretty positive, really. The guidelines have been a big help in providing clarity of what companies need to do to get back up and running properly. And I think that clarity has been hugely helpful in communicating with the workforce, and the fact that it was done in a coordinated way with the unions has been a big help on that. I know the TUC welcomed the issue of those guidelines, and I think that's been helping companies get back up and running. If you do want any sector-specific assistance, I think there's two things I'd just like to flag up there. Firstly, a reminder really that we have within the members area of the website, we have the health and safety section. We have written a sector-specific risk assessment for getting back up and running. So please use that risk assessment, it's available. Also, if you need anything that is individual tailored advice, then please feel free to contact us. We have Alistair Bromhead available, and he can advise on with any assistance that you need in terms of risk assessments, safe systems of work, and getting back up and running again. Just coming back onto that Buy British campaign, what we're aiming to do is that we're putting together some sets of guidelines of buying British product and the benefits of buying British products. And we have put out a call for input from members. If you've got ideas, things that should be included, then please feed that into us. That's being coordinated with Jane Shepherd, but feel free to feed it either into myself or Jane. And what we're aiming to do is to have a set of comprehensive guidelines for consumers about the benefits of buying British. And then we're aiming to use that to drive a campaign for Buy British, and really try and push that at a consumer level to raise the awareness of consumers of the importance and valuing of buying from British manufacturers. The final thing I just wanted to cover was to make everyone aware of some of the great work that's been done by our members. So we've actually created a short film setting out some examples of some of the work that's been taking place behind the scenes during the crisis. And we've had members helping communities, manufacturing PPE, providing furniture for the healthcare sector. And I think our members have really sort of gone the extra mile to make a change, make a difference in these difficult times. So we are publishing that video. It'll be on the YouTube channel. So well done to everyone who's done that extra bit to help. So that's really sort of a quick update of where we are and sort of some of the things we've been doing. And we will continue to keep you updated both through the website and bulletins, and of course on social media. So please keep checking, keep following, and we're doing our very best to make sure you've got latest information and latest help. Thank you very much.